Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I forgot to film an introduction, so here I am right now. So basically, I don't have the Manny MUA palette, but I was really inspired by all the colors, so I wanted to recreate something that would be similar to what you could recreate from the same palette. To start off, I am using the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation, and I'm just going to take that dabber and spread it all over my face. It's not my favorite way of application. I wish I had a pump, but you have to make it work. And then I'm going in with the Marc Jacobs Mark brush in 3, I believe, and I'm just patting it all into my face. This foundation is really pigmented. It's one of my most recent favorites, and this is a great way for applying it because just the brush makes it so easy and it's so big. It's a really quick process. Next, I'm going in with my Urban Decay All Nighter Weightless Concealer, and this is in shade 01 Fair Neutral. I'm putting it underneath my eyes, around the sides of my nose, on my chin, and up into my forehead. I'm going to be blending that all out with a damp beauty blender as always, so your face should look like this. I've recently been putting a lot more concealer around the sides of my nose because my hormones have recently made that area like super red on me. So yes, just blend out your concealer. You've seen this happen and done 1,000 times. Now I'm going to set all that using the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. I really love this powder. If you have dry skin, I don't know if it would be the best underneath your eyes, but since I am oily, I just find that it helps control my oil more than the Secret Brightening Powder. So if you're deciding between the two, I think it really depends if you have a dry or oily skin condition. Next, I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder, and I really use a ton of this. You can see me just working the brush in that powder, and I just really press it into my skin. I don't really rub it or brush it on. I really pat it into my skin, and this is just another affordable way to set your face. Before we start my eyeshadow, I'm going to take that loose translucent powder from Laura Mercier, and I'm just going to put a light dusting underneath my eyes, so if we have any fallout, nothing's going to settle into our foundation and mess up our base. So for a light transition shade, I'm going in with Bengal, and this is from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Tamana palette. Now I'm just running that through my crease with a crease brush that actually came from the same palette. So I'm just going to put that in there, focusing on keeping it low. I don't want to spread it too far out too much because I usually get a little crazy sometimes. But that wasn't warm enough for me, so I went in with a Makeup Forever Artist shadow, and I am just warming the crease up. Still using the same brush and still keeping it really controlled and not going too high. Next, I'm going in with a Sigma E35 brush, and as you can see here, it has no additional product on it, and I'm really keeping it to the edges of that transition shade just to blend it all out. Next, I'm taking this diffuse crease brush, which is my absolute favorite, in this beautiful cranberry shade called Sangria. This would be a great dupe for the Manny MUA Mars shadow. It's just a really like red burgundy shadow. And you can see I'm really just carving out my crease with that. I'm not really taking it too much like a cut crease. I'm just putting it in the area and then I'm going to blend it out until it meets the orange. So I just want to provide a nice pretty transition with those two colors. So to create a base for our pigment that we're eventually going to put on top, I'm using this bright blue shade from the Tamana palette still, and this shade is called like Valencia, I believe, and I'm just going to dab that on with a MAC 242 brush. So I am just being pretty particular where I want it, but you don't have to be too careful because we're going to be covering it up with pigment in a second. To highlight my brows, I'm going in with MAC Shroom, which is just a beautiful icy color. It's my favorite brow bone highlight ever. And then I'm taking a clean Sigma E40 brush and I am blending out all my eyeshadow. And as you can see, I'm taking it almost further to the eyebrow here and creating a deeper V on the outside because I want this to be a pretty dramatic look. Now time for the fun part. I'm taking MAC Blue Brown Pigment and that same MAC 242 brush, and I'm pressing that over the blue. So as you can see, I'm not really keeping it just on top of the blue. I find myself that I have a small lid, at least in my opinion, so I kind of keep the blue up. You see how I take it higher than my actual lid? And that's just going to create a nicer transition for me, and I personally prefer how it looks. I'm going to create a wing, and I'm using Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. And to me, this is just the easiest way to create a wing. If you are struggling with wing liner, I highly suggest this liner because it's like a pen. It is so easy, so black. You just have to try it. And to finish off the eyes, I'm just going to coat my lashes with mascara. I don't even know this one. I think it's Miss Manga, but I didn't really care for it, so I'm not going to recommend it to you guys. Just mascara, and then I popped on some House of Lashes Iconic Lashes. To bronze up my face, I am taking Too Faced 16-Hour Wear Bronzer. And I've had this one for a while, but I just recently pulled it back out. It's nothing special to me. I don't see like the 16-hour wear time. It's just another bronzer. But I'm taking it on a MAC brush, and I'm just creating myself my own bronzer helmet, up on the forehead, down my cheekbones, and then I'll put a lot on my jawline to make it seem like I don't have a double chin. But hey, we're. For my eyes, I am taking a deep brown shadow, and I am just running that underneath my lash line, and this is kind of with a domed pencil brush. I like it better than the pencil brush because I feel like a pencil brush you can't really blend that much, where the dome is softer and it allows you more flexibility. Then I'm going to align my lash line with this Urban Decay black pencil. I don't recall the name right now. But yeah, I just put it on the outside, and then eventually I'll be going in and tightlining too. But I'm going to blend those two together just to make it deeper and darker. To highlight my inner corners, I'm using the Balm Mary Luminizer, which is just absolutely beautiful. It is so intense. It makes your whole eye look pop. So I highly recommend this guy. If you haven't tried him on your inner corner, girl, you are missing out. So like I said, I'm just going to tightline my eyes real fast, and then I believe we are done with the eyes. Moving on to blush, I'm going to use MAC Dainty, which is a mineralized blush. And it's kind of like a neutral pink tone. It's not too intense, but it's just going to provide you a really nice soft glow. To highlight, I'm going to be going in with this Laura Geller Gilded Honey, which is just so beautiful. You guys saw me talk about it in my February favorites. I just absolutely love it. It looks really gold like when you swatch it on your hand, but I feel like on your face it's just like the prettiest shimmer. Like I don't even find it looking gold on the face. I find it more like champagne colored. So it's just beautiful. I'm putting it above my cheekbones, and then I'm also going to put it on the bridge of my nose and on the tip of my nose and on my cupid's bow. Sometimes I even rub it above the arch of my eyebrows. For my lips, I'm going in with Dose of Color Stone, which is a beautiful neutral mauve shade. I really enjoyed it. It's probably my favorite Dose of Colors liquid lipstick. I love Dose of Colors. They are my favorite brand for liquid lipsticks. And then I'm going to define the edges of my mouth and maybe overdraw my lips just a tad, and I'm using MAC Whirl to do this. I always like going in with a pencil after because you can almost like reshape your lips that way. If I do it before, I find that I just end up reshaping it even more with the liquid lipstick. It works better for me using the pencil afterwards. For a gloss, I'm using the NYX Tres Leches Butter Gloss. So that is my look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I still plan on buying the Manny MUA palette, but I just didn't have it, and this is what I have on hand to kind of make up for the same thing. So please let me know if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!